going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another episode of Robert Garcia Unfiltered. I feel like I didn't get the memo. You guys are wearing black and yellow. I'm not. Anyways, you guys went 3-0 this weekend with the Golden Boy event. Starting with Oscar Duarte, the referee stopped the fight in the 9th round. I saw a towel go in though. Was it the referee or was it the corner that stopped the fight?
The ref stopped the fight, but it was already the corner was already ready. So I think the ref seen the corner maybe stand up and maybe wave it off, because right when he stepped in, they threw in the towel. So I think it was the corner plus the corner man, the cutman, Mike. He worked with both Vergil and Jose Ramirez. He told me that he was already telling the dad that Jojo was taking too much punishment to think about stopping the fight. So I think it was the corner's decision, and the ref probably seen when they were stepping, maybe standing up or something. Because as soon as he jumped in, the towel was already being thrown. So I want to believe it was the corner that made that decision.
Oscar Duarte looked really good against Jojo. What kind of statement do you believe he sent out, considering he's the first person to stop him?
Well, I think it was a great performance. I think Jojo, the experience that he has, the heart, of not giving up and taking so many good punches was a good test for Duarte to do what he did. I think he started off like always, I guess, a little bit slow, and Jojo was able to work off his jab and counter punching straight lefts and stuff like that. But it just took like 1 or 2 rounds. I think Duarte started figuring him out and started cutting the distance and landing a lot of body shots, a lot of punches to the head, to the ears. Those punches do a lot of damage. There was 2 or 3 occasions where he landed good punches, and you could tell Jojo got hurt. His legs were a little wobbly, but he's a tremendous warrior, man. He's got a great heart and a great chin. He takes a really good punch. Has never been dropped, had never been stopped, and Duarte was the first one to do it. So I think it was a good statement from Duarte, especially coming off a knockout loss to Ryan. I think this was a perfect fight for him to come back and make a statement.
Yeah, Jojo had been in some big fights recently. He recently lost to Camarón Cepeda, who's another young lightweight, like Oscar Duarte. He was able to go to the distance with Camarón. So I think it does show a lot. Jojo, obviously, he's out of his weight class. Everybody can agree. He's a 126 or 130 pounder. That's, I think, the ideal weight class for him. He's been fighting at 135 and up, for a few fights now, and hasn't had the most success. But Duarte's able to stop him. I think was a big statement to everybody else. Like I said, especially with someone like Camarón Cepeda, who just recently fought Jojo and couldn't do that. So I think it does make a good statement. Duarte, that was his first fight with us. I think it's really similar to when Maidana got to the gym. Coming off of a loss, Maidana had lost to Devin Alexander. Duarte losing to Ryan Garcia. It's going to take a few fights to really start to see a big improvement, but they're kind of similar, kind of stiff power punchers. But if I'm not mistaken, when Maidana, his first fight with my dad, he fought Jesus Soto Caras, who had also never been dropped or stopped, and he was able to do that as well. So there's a lot of similarities there. Duarte getting the stoppage win over Jojo. So there's a lot of similarities. Hopefully it leads to success like it was with Maidana.
It brings flashbacks from when you guys trained them. Yeah. Kind of piggybacking on that solid comeback from Ryan Garcia. Talk to us a little bit about what you guys brought to the table now that he's training at RGBA.
Well, I think just like he said in the interview after the fight, is the experience, a new voice in the corner, somebody else in control. He's got a great team behind him. It's not like they fired everybody. They just added me pretty much. Me and my team. If it's the Felipe was one at this time, because Chip and Pita stayed behind with Vergil and Jose, but it could be either one of them. All three is the same thing. So with in this case with Felipe, we worked really good. He felt very comfortable. I think, just like he said, I think he's bringing a new voice, the experience that we have in the corner, instructions, game plans, things to practice during training. I think it just adds something different, just like Peter said earlier with Maidana. Maidana had already been a very successful fighter, had been doing great in boxing, had great fights against big names. But when he came to me, it was just like a new beginning for him, a new chapter in his career. And I truly believe, I don't think it's something that I'm exaggerating, but I think those were Maidana's best moments after he came to us. So hopefully same thing with Duarte. There is a lot of fights in the 35s and 40s where Duarte could compete. Just like Maidana was a welterweight, 140 or 147. I think it's in very similar, very, very similar situation. But we'll go fight by fight. Hopefully, Golden Boy and his team, because he also has a team from Mexico, Pepe Gomez and what's his name? Can't think of the other guy's name, but they're great people. They do a great job, and hopefully they pick the right fights.
Mm-hmm.
Memo Rocha is the other guy.
Memo Rocha.
Mm-hmm. Kind of piggybacking again on his first time training with you guys, can you talk to us about the process on how that relationship started?
Well, it wasn't that difficult. He came in like 5 or 6 weeks ago, so it wasn't like we've been training for months. He came in like 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks before the fight, and he already has the power. So I told him, look, let's not even focus on power punches because every punch is still going to be hard. Every punch, everybody that he sparred told us how hard he hits, and it was, he already has that. So I didn't focus on that. I focused on loosening his shoulders up a little more. He's just too tight, too stiff, and I just wanted to loosen up his shoulders, combinations, throw the jab, quick 1-2-1s, just throw combinations so he doesn't, because for him, he's just going after power punches, and every punch he throws is a power punch, and you don't have to do that all the time. You're not supposed to do that all the time. So that's what I was trying to do. He did it in the fight, even though, like I said, all his punches are power punches, but he did throw combinations. He did put 3 punch combinations, which is what I was asking for, what I wanted to see, and I seen what I wanted to see. I'm getting a lot of positive phone calls from top people in boxing that know boxing, top matchmakers in boxing, telling me how much they loved his performance and what he did. So that's a plus, and that was only 5 weeks of training with him. I think next camp, hopefully we could bring him in a little bit sooner, and hopefully we could bring him in soon also to fight, so we could get a good 2.5 months of workout to just make it better. Just like Peter said, pretty similar to what Maidana first fight out, somebody like Soto Caras, then we go against somebody else like Josito Lopez and stuff like that. I think we'll probably do the same thing with Oscar Duarte.
That's gonna be exciting if it reaches to that level.
It would be nice,
Yeah.
Like I said, the fights are at that level in that division, 135 and 140. It's not like we don't have somebody similar to Mayweather. We have Tank, we have Haney, we have Teofimo. There's so many big fights out there. At 135, there's Shakur. You know what I mean? There's Lomachenko. There's so many fights out there. So it's pretty much very similar. Maidana went through the same thing. When he beat Broner and then he got Mayweather. I think Duarte could have something very similar. It's not easy. It wasn't easy with Maidana either. But I do my work, and obviously they got to put in their work too. They got to be dedicated. They got to be disciplined. They got to believe in me. And they got to believe in themselves too.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that surprised you guys about Duarte from this time training with you guys?
Well, it's just like we're talking. It's not that we were very surprised. His power was. because him being a lightweight, you know, the power that he has, his punches when you do mitts with him, it's just something pretty crazy. Like honestly, like really different than what other fighters with power. His hands are like I don't know, like heavy, like I don't know, like you really feel a fucking hammer hitting you. It's difficult to explain, but he's got insane power.
Other boxing coaches understand. They know, you know, guys that work with a lot of different fighters, they understand that there's different types of power. There's some guys that are heavy. There's some guys that have like a quick snap, but it's you know, with power. Duarte, like my dad said, it's like you're getting hit, you know, with a sledgehammer every time he hits you. I think that was the most surprising thing. You know, we had heard from numerous guys at the gym, Louis and Vergil and some of these guys that have trained with them before, that told us the dude is strong, but it's different once you know, we can grab them and do some mitts with them and see what it's really like. It's like my dad said, it's not normal. That power is, and it's like Chino Maidana, it's the same thing. It's the same kind of power. It's the same. It's weird how similar they are in a lot of the stuff that we keep bringing up, and we keep bringing up that name. And obviously, you know, what Chino was able to accomplish was crazy, you know, from where he was at. And we also don't want to, you know, set the bar, you know, and or have these high expectations, you know, for people tuning in and stuff, because that was something special that happened. But it's really similar. The power is really similar in the fact that it feels like a sledgehammer. It's something crazy, man, because we got a lot of lightweights and 140 pounders that hit hard. We got Raymond, we got Lindolfo, and, you know, Jose Ramirez, all these guys. But this power is a little bit different than those guys. That I think that surprised me the most.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting to see how far he can go with you guys. Now moving on to Vergil Ortiz with Thomas Dulorme. He secured another first-round knockout over Dulorme, improving to 21-0, 21 knockouts. I know they used to be sparring partners back in the day. I know it has been a while since then, but how much of an impact do you think that had in this performance?
They were, I think Vergil said he
was like 7 years ago.
He was like 17 or 18 years old, and it was when they were both with Joel Diaz. Even like Dulorme was like at a different time of his career too. If it's 2014 right now, it's 2017, he had already lost to like Terrance Crawford and a few. I don't even know who he was getting ready for or what stage of his career he was at. But Vergil was also fighting at, you know, 140. He was 17, 18-year-old kid, you know, fresh out of high school. It's like we talked about, I think we talked about it last week when we were talking about Ryan versus Devin Haney, about the amateur stuff. It's like, if you fought, like, oh, we fought like 6 times, but fucking 4 of them when we were like 12 years old. That doesn't tell you shit. You know what I mean? Like, you guys were little kids. I think it's the same thing. You know, Dulorme might have, you know, I didn't watch the sparring, but I know for a fact that Dulorme was always a better gym guy than he was in the fights. We had him, you know, in Oxnard, and some of the sparrings, if we had promoters that would go to if we were to have, you know, Top Rank or Golden Boy or whoever come to the gym to watch him spar, every promoter would line up to sign him because of how great he looked in sparring. But then it came to the fights, and he wasn't able to perform that way for whatever reason. You know, just like I said earlier about trainers knowing about, you know, different types of power, the stuff with the gym is the same thing. You got guys that are great in the gym, great in sparring. They get to the fight, they can't perform that way. Dulorme sparred Maidana, he sparred Mikey, he sparred Brandon Rios, he sparred all these guys, and he looked like a superstar. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he beat everybody up, but he looked like he belonged with, you know, and then when it got to the fights, he was never able to perform that way. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he, if they say, oh, he did really good with Vergil, yeah, that makes sense. Dulorme was a bad dude in the gym. And also Vergil was fucking 17, 18 years old.
Right. Vergil's now set to fight Tszyu August 3rd in LA. I know the last time we were talking about that fight, you guys were saying that he should get a fight before that, so he can get a few more rounds in since he's going into a new weight division. But since he got another first round knockout, how confident are you guys in him facing Tszyu this time?
I think it's perfect that we got another fight on the way, even though it was just less than a round. You know, it ended in the first round. I think it's great because he already went to the training camp. You know, everything went good. We had good sparring. He'll take 3 to 4 weeks off and come back to camp 2 months before the fight.
He's already running today.
He was
already running today.
He was already training. Yeah, he's probably running today. Well, anyways, you know, back to camp maybe in 3 to 4 weeks to just start preparing for Tszyu. I think it's a perfect moment. He's already has 2 fights this year, which is very rare, especially right now with the way promoters work and fighters fighting once a year. He's gonna have his 3rd fight August 3rd. I think it's perfect timing. He's fresh. He's didn't get touched up at all. I think it's perfect timing for him to go out and perform against Tszyu. Tim had a fight a few weeks back, and it was a pretty tough fight. A lot of blood. It was so all that. Can it affect Tszyu? Can it be in our I don't know. It's only when the bell rings, but I know for a fact Vergil's in a great moment right now. 2 good wins, both in the first round. I would like a few more rounds, but if you find the right punch, land it and you hurt them, and it's over. They don't pay for overtime. So if you could get them out in 1 round, get them out in 1 round.
I think it's the perfect time for Vergil versus Tszyu. Again, like my dad said, maybe a few more rounds or whatever. But it's also hard, when it comes to like the matchmaking of Vergil. At 154 pounds, a lot of the top guys, now we have Crawford, Spence, a lot of these guys. Obviously, you're not going to get one of those guys in the ring, but the next level of guys, a lot of them are still, even with like PBC, like even if we were to say, oh, we want somebody that's going to hang in there with Vergil, give him some rounds, who exactly are we talking about? Like like I said, the next level of guys at 154, you could say someone like Brian Mendoza, Erickson Lubin. There's a lot of good fighters at 154 pounds. A lot of them are without Heyman. You're not gonna be able to bring one of those guys over. So what really can Golden Boy and who can they bring in that's gonna supposedly give Vergil rounds and be able to give
Yeah, but now that but right now that if you see, talking about PBC, talking about Heyman, even he is letting his fighters go.
Yeah, but they're sending like they're sending like lower level guys that they're or guys that are stars that can't get dates, but they're gonna go be like the A side somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like it's hard for PBC to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's send so and so over to go fight Vergil, like to fight Vergil. Which So I also I understand people. The level of opposition, they would want to see something, but the level that Thomas Dulorme is, Vergil did what he was supposed to do. He's out in the first round. Let's go. And I think it's perfect. I think Vergil coming off of back-to-back wins, like my dad said, people don't get to see everything we get to see in camp. But this camp, I think the first camp that Vergil did, again, you would have to talk to Vergil to get the exact thing. I think there was still a lot of like where he felt he was in the back of his head, he had to still feel like damn, I don't know if like, can I get to the fight? Can I get to the fight? Can I get to the fight? Once he made the weight, once he weighed in, once he got to the fight and it ended in the first round, there was a big like relief. Like there was a big, there it is. I finally got in the ring. Now this second camp, there was days in sparring where he looked like fucking one of the best fighters in the world, like in like great sparring sessions and stuff. And since we can see that, we know he's ready for someone like Tszyu. Again, August 3rd, we'll see who the best man is, but Vergil's going to be as ready as he's ever been for that fight, and he's excited for it. He wanted it.
He's excited for it.
Yeah.
He's excited for it. He wants it. There's nothing else that he would want to do. If they would have brought it up to him and told him, you know what, we can get Tszyu August 3rd or maybe in December, but let's do a stay busy fight to get you some rounds, Vergil would have said, hell no, I'm going straight to Tszyu. So there's also nothing we would have been able to do anyways. Vergil made that decision, and that's exactly what he wants.
Mm-hmm. What's your
I think right now that you mentioned Peter about sparring and about, I think we should mention that he was sparring Damian Sosa, who fought 3 days earlier in Plant, Florida, and had a great win, big upset, being the underdog. I didn't go to the fight because it was the exact same day of my Carla's birthday, my wife's birthday. So I stayed behind. Felipe went. Damian Sosa, El Samurai from Tijuana, he beat Valle. What's his first name, Peter?
Marquez Valle.
Marquez Valle who was undefeated, like 12-0 or something like that?
Something like that.
Undefeated, and Sosa went out there. Felipe Campos, one that went to represent us, and they came out with a good win. So I think that's something that
that sparring helped them both.
Because he was sparring with Vergil the whole camp. They did all camp together, and they did a lot of rounds with each other. So both of them were in great shape. Damian showed it, going all 10 rounds and winning by decision. And Vergil, first round knockout with a body shot. It's one went out 10 and the other one ended in 1 round. But it shows how hard they work, because Damian Sosa was able to go out there all 10 rounds as the underdog to pull up the upset. So we're very happy for him too.
An honorable mention right there. What's your guys' take on Vergil and Tim having the friendliest interactions on social media about fighting each other? I think that's kind of scary. That's
the kind of guys they are. Like, they don't need to fake anything. They don't need to, talk shit to each other. I think it's better. I think it's better like that. Like you said, it's scary, not scary. Like for us, it's not like scary, but like when you look at it, those are the guys that you have to respect, and those are the kind of guys that you have to know that those guys are really, they're not about any of the social media stuff. They're not about the talking. They're not about, just being loud and obnoxious. They don't go about things like that. They're quiet. Nobody even knew that the fight got offered to Tim Tszyu. I'm sure the way Tim Tszyu got offered the fight is the same way Vergil. Hey, the Saudi guys want to see if you want to fight Vergil. Yes. Vergil, you want to fight Tim Tszyu? Yeah, let's do it. There's no need to build the fight up. There's no need, this isn't the time to make the fight. There's no. We both want it, and this is what's gonna happen. So I think it's it's a breath of fresh air to see some stuff like that, with all the social media stuff that we get nowadays, to get two young guys in their prime to agree to a fight like this and have, like you said, some of the friendliest, stuff on Twitter.
They're so funny using emojis and everything.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Tim Tszyu's like, I can't wait. We're just like, me too. We're gonna be the main, what I mean? But when they get in there, I mean, there's
gonna be all business.
There's very few fights that you can say this is almost guaranteed like to be all action. There's very few. Sometimes you get one guy who's more of a boxer. He could probably these two guys, like, there's no way this isn't going to be a great fight. Like, there's no way it's not going to be a great fight. Their styles they clash perfectly. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a great night.
Like they said, it's gonna be World War III in there. Yeah. It's been a long time coming for Vergil getting a big fight like this after everything that he's been through. With a victory on August 3rd, how will that turn the page in his career? Even though it's not a title fight, how will this turn the page in his career?
It is going to be for the title. It is going to be for the WBA. Oh, yeah, it is. WBA regular or interim, right, Peter? They said?
Like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it is for a title. So, it'll be a big win, and that'll put him in a position to get nothing but huge fights. At the same time, that same night, Crawford's going to fight for the Super WBA title against the champion, and I'm pretty sure the Saudis are gonna try to put that fight together next. Maybe in Saudi, maybe in Vegas, wherever. They're already coming to California. That means they could easily go to New York. They could easily go to Nevada, Las Vegas, or we could easily go to Saudi also. It's a great thing that's going on in boxing right now. That card they just added a few more fights. It's gonna be one of those nights that you're gonna start at 2 p.m. with nothing but very, very good fights and go all the way to midnight. They're all gonna be great fights. Don King type of shows from back in the days. I remember to go in some of those shows in the late 80s, early 90s. 10, 12 fights, and they were all great fights. Believe me, Don King, we used to do that, and now the Saudis are doing the same thing, which is beautiful for boxing, beautiful for everybody that's involved in boxing, beautiful for us. This is our first fighter involved. Hopefully, we could get more and more of our fighters involved. I got quite a few fighters that could be in that level to be liked by the Saudis. What's the guy's name?
The main guy. Turkey. I don't know how to pronounce
Turkey.
I can't pronounce
Turkey.
it. Try to
Yeah,
pronounce
Turkey,
it.
something
Something
Turkey.
like that.
But him, man,
Everybody says His Excellency.
His Excellency.
His Excellency. So hopefully he keeps an eye on some of my fights coming up, and I would love to continue doing stuff with him. Vergil's gonna be our first one, so he'll be there. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him and mention some of other guys. It'd be nice. It's gonna be really nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, we got Vergil with all the stuff that he's gone through, the fight cancellations and just the injuries, the health concerns, to the point where I'm sure him, his dad, and everybody at one point was thinking, will he ever even be able to fight again? To where he's at now in the position he's in with the fight that he has coming up. He's gonna do everything he can, to obviously to win the fight, but it's gonna mean so much to him if he's able to win the fight, and he sets himself up for, like my dad says, something huge. Obviously Terrance Crawford just moved up to 154 pounds. I'm sure Errol Spence will be there soon. Fundora's there. There's huge fights at 154 pounds for him.
And future fights at 162 because
the
Charlos 160.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Charlos are still there at 54, 60. There's a lot of big fights for him, but obviously Tszyu, that's the goal. That's the first one. That's the one that's next. So Vergil's gonna do everything he can to be 100%. He's gonna put everything he has into the training camp, into the fight, and we're excited. He's somebody that he deserves it. He deserves to be on this card. He deserves the recognition. People haven't given it to him yet. Obviously with the last two fights, the opposition wasn't the best, but he'll be able to show it with Tszyu. And after that fight, then people are going to give him his respect, and it's well deserved. So I'm excited for that. But we were going to talk about the Saudi card, but we're already talking about it right now. We were going to talk about it later, but they just added that if Deontay Wilder comes out clean when he fights Zhang, that he'll be fighting Jared Anderson. So that card went from already being probably the best card we've seen here in the US and who knows how long, to adding Deontay Wilder versus Jared Anderson possibly. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the plan is, or what these Saudi guys are how are they doing this? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand it. They're just throwing money at these guys, and I don't know, do they expect like a big return, or is it just something that they're like, you know what, I just want to say I had the best card of all time. Like I don't understand it. This shit's crazy, because like I said, it was already, what the card already is right now without Jared Anderson versus Deontay Wilder. There's already one of the best cards we've seen. The top three fights for sure can main event anywhere they want, like Crawford, Madrimov, Cruz, and Rayo, Vergil, Tszyu, and then after that it goes to Andy Ruiz versus Big Baby Miller, which is a great, I think it's a great fight. You got Morel in there. Where do you get the break? Like where do the fans get like their beer break? Like, oh, let's let's go get some eats, or let's go get something to eat. Let's go get some snacks. No, you don't get a break in this fight. Like you really don't on this card. Like it's
pack the lunch.
Yeah, the what is it? The concession stands, they're gonna have a horrible night because nobody's ever gonna get up. Like who the fuck's gonna go buy beer? Like during what fight are you gonna go buy beer? Like it's crazy, man. That card's gonna be insane.
They should be able to, because you know how some events they don't let you double fist with the alcohol.
They're gonna have to let you buy fucking 10 beers, or bring your own 24 pack so you can sit down, just have your 24 pack.
Bring your own beer.
Shit.
I think Turkey, the Saudi guy, he's doing what many people do when they have especially Mexicans. I'm saying Mexican big time money, my guys. Could be wherever they got the money from. They hire Banda Recodo, Ramon Ayala, Tucanes de Tijuana, just to, all in one night in their backyard.
For a regular
pay hundreds of thousands of dollars so they could perform for 2 hours each. They spend all night till the morning just saying they perform for me. I think that's what this guy's doing. Now this guy's saying all these guys fight for me because he's gonna be sitting right there front row. I think that's pretty much what he's doing. power to him, man. Why not?
I'm excited to see the future with them because this is their first fight out in the US. So coming in with a bang like that, I don't even know what to expect for the future. But right now that you
They
mentioned,
do like some really cool promo stuff, like I don't know if you've seen all the little commercials that they do for the 5 versus 5 for the for all these fights. They do like these crazy commercials where they fly guys out like to like these crazy places and they're like in costumes and this and that. So that all that stuff is gonna be cool to see. Hopefully they do it out here so we could all go and see. Kind of like the camera stuff and because they do a lot of that stuff.
now that we're already talking about it, you guys mentioned Rayo, because he's obviously going to be fighting Pitbull Cruz. We're already talking about this, Carson, might as well. They had the press conference, was it last week, I believe? I don't know if you guys saw it, but when he went in to go shake his hand, he didn't shake him back. Do you guys think that was intentional, or maybe he just didn't see that?
I think he did see it. I think he's seen it. I just think Pitbull is one of the fighters when he gets into a fight and he signs a contract, he focuses on just that, and he doesn't. That person is not his friend. That person is not is his enemy. That person is trying to get what Pitbull has. That person is trying to take pretty much food out of his family's table. I think that's the way he sees it. It looks a little disrespectful, especially when somebody gives you the hand and you leave them hanging. I don't like that. Honestly, I don't like that. I would tell my fighter, shake his hand. Why did you do that? I would do that because that's not my style. I don't want none of my fighters to do something like that. But he's not a bad person. He's not people love him. People love him for what he is, what he's done. He's a family man. You could tell he's got his wife with him all the time. His dad is his trainer. He's a very, very family man. So I think for him, it's more like that's my fight. That's what I'm fighting. Until after the fight, he's my enemy because he wants to take what I have and he wants to take money, food from my kids, from my wife. That's my personal opinion. I don't think he did see it. I think he did. To me, it looked a little disrespectful because that's the way I see it. But I understand I think that's the way he feels too. And I don't blame him. I don't think it's something that like he's a bad person or anything because he doesn't seem like that. He seems like a very good person.
The only thing that I really don't like about that, well, obviously I mean I don't think fighters should be doing that anyways. Like if the guy reaches out to shake your hand and you're at the press conference or whatever, like why deny him a handshake? Just shake his hand. It looks bad. Gabe Flores did it a bunch of times and then lost all those fights. So then afterwards, people get to say, look, that's what you get. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look good. The main reason I didn't like it is because him and Rayo, they don't have like a history of like bad blood or of Rayo was talking shit or Rayo disrespected him or said something or you know what I mean? Like, they're two Mexican fighters. That's one of the things too. On the poster, they put that Rayo's from the United States. Rayo was born in Los Mochis, Sinaloa.
Exactly. They're pretty Mexico versus USA.
Yeah, it's
and
not. Rayo
was born in Los Mochis, Sinaloa.
Them being two respectful, fighters, two, Mexican fighters. I would have liked to have seen him shake his hand. I don't understand why he didn't. Did he do it intentionally? I don't know. He'd be the only one that'd be able to tell you if he did it, if he did it on purpose or not. He'd be the only one to tell you. But that's the only reason I don't like it is because Rayo's never disrespected him. Or Rayo wasn't at the press conference saying, obviously you say you're normal. Obviously you're going to try to win the fight. You're going to do whatever you can. But he didn't disrespect him, his family, or say something personal or nothing. So that's the only reason I didn't like it.
Are you guys going to be in his corner for fight night? I know he's training at the gym.
Yeah,
we are going to be working with him. He talked to me. What was it, last night? Last night, he told me that he would love me to be part of his training camp, and I said yes, I would love to. I would love to be part of your camp, and I am going to be involved. So we're gonna. Right now, he's not going to leave camp. We still got 3 months. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're gonna start out just slow, working on little things, but no sparring, no hard work because I don't want him to overdo it too. He's already been in here for almost a month, so it would be too much if we push him and continue training and sparring like the way he was. Because when he first came here, it's because he was going to fight in June. He already had a fight, an opponent to fight in June. But then he told us that they had called him, that there was a possibility that he would fight Pitbull in sometime in July. Turned out to be August 3rd. So that's why, today we decided that we're gonna take a few days off, just not off training, but from hard work, like sparring and doing anything hard. So that's what we're gonna do. But yes, we are gonna be involved. So I'm very excited about the fight now, that especially I already was, because he's a great person. He's a good kid. His trainer Mario and everybody, and the other kid with him, they're great people, very respectful. They love it in my gym. So me being part of it now, can't wait to be able to put his picture up in my champions wall, because I will be working with him. So he wins, he will be my champion.
He had actually asked for you to help him, right? For the last one too.
Previous fight.
When he fought Chris Colbert for the rematch. It just happened to be the same day as Bam versus Gallo. I mean, Bam versus Sunny Edwards.
Sunny.
It was the same day.
He did ask me for the last fight to help him and to see if he knew, because he knew it was the same day as Bam, and he also asked if Pete or Chip or Felipe would like to go help him. But I told him, look, it's gonna be really hard. Obviously we had like 4 fights. Because we had other fights on the same card. With Chop and Cardenas, and so I needed their help too. Just like same thing happened this weekend. We have all the fights in. We worked 4 fights Saturday in Fresno, and we also had Panterita, Caleb, and Sammy and the other kid, Jose Luis from South Texas, fighting the same day. I told him, you guys gotta understand, I'm gonna be in the big card, and these guys, I also need them. We have four fights on a big fight. Vergil needs our help. I'm gonna be working with Duarte, while I need Pita and Chepe back there with Jose Ramirez and with Vergil. So none of us could go. So something like that happened with Rayo when he told me if one of us could go help him. I told him sorry, but I don't think we can. But this time, nothing's gonna change. We don't have anything else going on, and if we do have something else, it's not gonna be bigger than what we already have with Vergil and Rayo. So if it's something else, maybe I'll send Pita to another fight.
Hey, fuck that.
How exciting is that though? Being in this, I guess you can say, legendary card, being involved in this.
It's fucking crazy. Like I said, the card is just from top to bottom the best card I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of, I've ever here in the US. Like it's insane what these guys are doing.
LA, like what? This is
the card. I'm not the biggest there's a few guys that I'm a big fan of, right? Like I'm a big fan of like Terrance Crawford and Nue. There's very few guys that I could say, you know what, I'm a big fan of those guys. I normally don't ask guys for pictures. I'm not especially during like fight week and stuff. It's kind of, I'm sure they're already annoyed from pictures there. Everybody asks them, if I see Terrance Crawford, it's at a boxing fight, I'm sure he's already taking a bunch of pictures. But there's a few guys who I've asked for a picture. I have a picture with Terrance Crawford. A few guys that I've asked. This is like one of the ones where I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have the poster and I'm gonna go try to get everybody to sign it. You know what I mean? Like this shit's crazy. Like this isn't like a normal card. This isn't this is something you're gonna remember for a long time. You'll be able to tell kids and other kids, like kids that we work with and stuff like that. We were a part of that. We had a few guys fighting on the card, and it's something that it's gonna be special.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving back to the Golden Boy event, Jose Ramirez secured a unanimous decision victory over two-division former champion Francis Barthelemy.
The two-division champ, Francis?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, two-division and Olympic medalist also.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So now he improves to 29-1, 18 knockouts. He was in control for most of the fights, but I believe it was in the 3rd or 4th round where he kept getting stunned with the straight left. What were some adjustments that you guys made in the corner in order for him to have success in the following rounds?
Well, it did. He started off so good. The first and second round that it looked like, man, looking really good, sharp. But then he did get caught with a few straight left that stunned him a little. They woke him up. It was something that in boxing. I'm not saying it was a good thing that it happened, but once he got hit, that third and fourth round, I think it did wake him up a little to not get too emotional, excited, because fighting in front of 16,000 people, because I think it was more than 16,000 people that showed up to the fight. His hometown, a big event with so many teammates fighting on the same card, and him being the main event. I think it was like a little wake up call for him. And after the sixth round, the first thing I did when I got home is I watched all three fights again. And obviously Vergil less than a minute, less than a round. Duarte, I paid attention to him, seeing little things that I need to work on and need him to listen. But with Jose, it was more about, I want to see what went wrong and how did it happen, and what we could do different. It was just those 2 rounds. Besides that, I think he totally dominated the whole fight. He actually, after the 6th round, because 3 and 4, then 5, he still got hit a little, never got stunned anymore, never got hurt. But he was, punches there was still some of those punches landing, even though he still won the rounds. But there was, that punch did land. But then he adjusted pretty well. After the 6th round, 7th, and to the 12th, it was very few times that he got it, and it wasn't even solid punches. He was already, he listened, he kept his right hand up, but he was also moving his head to his right, bending to the right, where he did avoid that punch. And it also didn't give his opponent the target to throw it with so confident like he did 3rd and 4th round. He just threw it, over and over, because Jose was right in front of him. When Jose started listening when he listened to us and started doing what we told him, fighting close, and as you're walking in, your right hand up and duck to your right a little more often, and he did. I didn't see him get hit that often after the 6th round. I think he was in control of the fight. He almost stopped it, where I think the ref said it's over, but the bell rang, so I guess he let him go. But if you watch the fight again, right at the end of the 11th round, I think it was, the ref stepped in right before the bell, and he said it's over, it's over, or that's it, or something. He said something like that, but the bell rang, so he called the doctor in and told him, if I don't see you defend yourself, I'm gonna stop the fight. But Bartholomew is a tough guy, man. He came in big. They did a great job with him. He came in with a good game plan. I think Jose was just too much for him. Jose's will of just winning and not giving up and forcing to give the fans what they paid to see, what they come to see in Fresno, was what made him perform that well. I think it was a good performance. It was tough for a couple of rounds, but after that, he was able to adjust and clearly win the fight. I think he lost 2 rounds. The judges gave Bartholomew 1 or 2 rounds. That was it, no more than that. And I think that was the right score. But just that occasion where he got hit a few times. Besides that, I think I think it was he won most of the rounds. Great performance.
I think one of the things that people also need to understand with these guys is they're like prideful. They're obviously professional boxers at a high level. Jose being a former world champ. There is a little of that like, we didn't think about it going into it, but their teammates. Duarte goes out there, is the first one that stops Jojo with his first fight with us, looks great. Everybody's all excited. Vergil goes out there, gets the first round knockout, looks sensational. fight week, it gets announced that Tszyu is fighting, Vergil and this and that. So there's a lot of stuff. And then Jose is there, like he's like, this show's here in Fresno because of me. Like I'm the main event. I'm the former unified world champ. I think he started the fight off, really aggressive. I think in the corner, I was sitting with Chepe, and as soon as the round started, Jose, he's an aggressive fighter, but he never goes in, like he still goes in there like trying to see, okay, let me see what this guy's gonna do, and starts off, picks it up as the fight goes. I think in the first round he went out there and I wouldn't say he was careless, but he was looking for, right away starting to land body shots and loading up on shots like really early in the fight. And I think it does have something to do with what Vergil getting the first round knockout and Duarte getting the TKO, where he was like, you know what, now it's my turn. Like, it's kind of like a friendly kind of competition between the guys, but I think it did have something to do with it where he's like, you know what, now it's my turn. Duarte got the TKO, Vergil got the first round knockout, now it's my turn. Here we go. And he got a little careless with a few times, which it's like my dad said, it happened. He was able to adjust and he was still able to get the win. So hopefully we're able to bring him back soon and he fixes a few of those things. But besides those 2 rounds, I think he won every single round.
And that's one of the things that I right away I told Rick and I told Golden Boy, everybody at Golden Boy, activity. And I think Jose also understands. He knows that's what 4 to 5 years he's fought once per year, right, Peter? Something like that. He understands that he needs activity. He needs to fight at least one more time before the end of the year. Hopefully they don't wait too long. Hopefully they can fight him in September, October, somewhere around there. That way he could fight early next year again, maybe get 3 fights next year. Because if he fights early next year, sometime in February or early March, I think we could bring him back in the summer and at the end of the year.
The way Vergil's doing it this year.
Huh?
The way Vergil's doing it this year.
Pretty much. Well, I think Vergil's going to have one more. I think Vergil is going to end up having 4 fights if everything goes well. August. Vergil should fight again before the end of the year, so it'll be 4. But yes, with Jose, I think inactivity plus first fight with Golden Boy, I think he also wanted to impress a little more because it was a new chapter in his career. He's only 31, so he's still young. So it was like another a new chapter in his career that I think it probably brought in a little bit of pressure also. So, I think it was a good performance. I think he won, besides those 2 rounds where he got hit, even those rounds, I think one judge only gave the other guy 1 round, which means even one of those rounds was for Jose, because it was just those 2 or 3 punches that landed, but the whole round it was dominated by Jose. So going back to activity, I think that's what Jose needs. Jose needs to come back, hopefully, as soon as September, get another fight, rest a month or so, and then start training in to fight, January or February, who cares? Some early. That way, to see if we could aim for 3 fights next year. That's the main thing for Jose. I think activity. He's been off so long. He's fought once a year only in the past 4 or 5 years, maybe. So I think that's going to make a big difference. Hopefully they're able to do that. They're doing it right now with Vergil, and that's what Vergil needed. Look at him. Look at other fighters, man. We mentioned a few. Anthony Joshua, perfect example. 3 fights last year, looks sensational in the last one, and then goes out in March and gets that quick knockout. So activity is what I want. That's what I want to see with Jose, and I'm pretty sure Rick and Golden Boy are gonna make it happen.
You guys answered my question. I was gonna ask how much more do you want, like how much activity do you want to see him this year?
He needs to be as active as possible.
Active, he needs to come back to camp, take a few weeks off, maybe a month, and then come back to camp right away, because that's what he needs, activity. And he also needs to understand that I think he understands, even though I know he's a very family man, very religious. He loves to be close to family. Well, it's as simple as it's gonna be during the summer. So bring your family with you. You could get your own Airbnb, an apartment, whatever, and have your family with you, because I think activity is what he needs. And I'm pretty sure Rick will work on that, and so will Golden Boy.
When you guys were talking about having that pride, do you think that's a good or bad thing going into a fight?
No, it's a good thing. It's
It's good, you know.
they're
That
top
means
of
you
the
have, you know, Jose has the heart, man. Jose has the mentality of a winner, of a warrior, of not disappointing his fans, his crowd, the crowd that was in there to watch him fight. That's good, you know. But in our position, my position as a trainer, Rick Marigan as a manager, and Golden Boy as promoters, I before any of the fights started, before Duarte fought, you know, I was tired. I was, you know, going back and forth. You know, Vergil has to cut weight. I have to go with Jose in his house to be there with him when he's cutting weight. Even the clothes, man, just to, you know, for the weigh-in, what are you gonna wear? It's a lot also for us. You know, I told him, look, this type of fight, we've had 4 or 5 guys in one card, but not the 3 top main event fights like back to back. It was too much. I honestly believe that Jose needs my attention 110%. So does Vergil, and so does Duarte. You know, if we could do where maybe like one of them fights 2 or 3 fights before, then I could get full attention to him, and then 2 fights later I give full attention to the next one. But they were back to back. It was also kind of, you know, we didn't think about it, but they were all in the same locker room. Everybody has a big team. Everybody has a lot of people, family members that want to be in the locker room. So it was kind of a little too much. It was a little too much for all of us, especially for the fighters who are the ones that are going in there and performing. So I definitely don't want that again. You know, that was a perfect event, perfect place for Vergil to come back, because if Rick didn't make this happen, then I don't think Vergil would have fought. Maybe not. He'd be fighting until August against Tszyu. I think it's great that we asked for it, that Rick was able to pull it off, and Golden Boy was able to get it through the zone to support the event like that. I think it was great for this one time only. I don't think it's something that I want to have in the future anymore, especially with 3 one after the other that need my full attention. So I think I wouldn't want that anymore.
You learn from the mistakes. You would
rather.
There was
no mistakes. But it was frustrating. It was tiring. After, you know, not only physically, because we've worked like 8 or 7 or 8 fights at StubHub, but there were 4 and 6 rounders and the main event, or, you know, something like that, whatever. But this time it was not just because of the physically tired, but mentally also. So many things going on, you know, with Jose already in the locker room, while I'm over there working with Duarte, coming back, rushing back to get Vergil ready, where Vergil's dad and Pete, you know, they already had him ready, but we got to come back, change shirts, get the mouthpiece. It's just a mess, and then you have to go and then come back right after that to do another one. It was too much. You know, after the fights, when we go back to the hotel in the lobby, I was I was tired physically, but I think I was more just drained from I was just tired, you know, because of, you know, mentally, physically, everything was just I just had enough.
It does sound hectic.
It was really, it really was.
Now with Jose getting back into his momentum, how many more fights do you think he should take in order for him to get another world title opportunity?
Well, you know what? A world title we'll take at any moment, because it's a world title. Jose wants to be champion again. So, you know, I don't know how well or how much Golden Boy is going to work with Haney. I don't know. I don't know if they had a kind of a deal to continue working. I really don't know. But he also fights. If Eddie Hearn is going to be helping him out, then it's something they both fight. You know, Golden Boy has a deal with DAZN, so I think that's something that could happen, and that would be a title fight. You know, I think that's probably one that could happen before the end of the year. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's, you know, I do want him back. Hopefully as soon as September, maybe latest October, because I need him to come back soon. And Rick already knows, and Rick will work on that. Doesn't matter if it's for the title or not. I know Jose does want to become champion again, but we've also thought about maybe moving him up in weight. He's been at this weight class for over 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big guy. You know, he's a big guy. He also has to cut weight, you know, the day before. So maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe, you know, maybe do something, try to do something at 44, 45, just to see how he feels. To maybe make the move to welterweight. It's also something that we have to consider. We have to think about. He's been at 40 for his whole career, pretty much. So we have to think about it and talk it over with Jose himself. See how he felt cutting weight. Maybe it's not a bad idea to already look at moving towards the welterweight division.
Imagine him and Haney at welterweight, because Haney's thinking about moving up too.
Well, you know, he's not a champion yet. You know, I would love the title fight at 140 because it is for a world title. But you know, Jose's willing to do a fight at, you know, closer to welterweight now, just to test it, just to see where he's at.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything that you guys want to touch up on regarding this undercard this past weekend?
No, we also had Figo. Shout out to
Figo.
He was the first
Figo, and he got a really good win. The kid was tough, man. That guy, the first round.
The first round started, I was like, oh shit.
Even Hector was telling me, you know what? This kid's tough, man. We gotta, you know, do the right thing because he's tough. And when the first round was out, I'm like, holy cow, that is true. That kid was tough. But fucking Figo adjusted really good and took over. He got down. Figo did a great job. I'm happy for him. You know, he's a beginner. He's getting started. This was his sixth fight as a professional. So it's a matter of a couple of years, you know, just to get him developed. But he did a great job. You know, he showed experience. He showed heart. He showed power. He showed what it takes to make it to championship level one day. So excited for him too.
And shout out to Brian Lua also.
Yeah, Brian Lua got a good knockout.
Been a while since he had been in the ring and got a first round knockout. So shout out to Brian.
How did the other guy win? I didn't see that fight.
Which one?
Oh.
The one you guys were just talking about.
Oh, Figo stopped. The guy didn't come out for the fourth round.
Yeah, Figo had a stoppage too. You know, I think the doctor or the corner stopped it. But you know, Figo was hurting the kid, landing a lot of punches. He had a good performance. It was good, especially after the first round when the guy.
First round was a little
really tough. He was able to adjust and make the changes and stop the kid. You know, so it was good for him.
Mm-hmm. All right, those were all of my questions. Guys, don't forget, Canelo's gonna fight Munguia this upcoming weekend. Do you guys want to touch up on anything regarding that undercard?
We were.
I don't even know who's on the undercard. Who's on the undercard?
Fabian Maidana and Mario Barrios.
Oh.
Yeah, so the
Carmel was supposed to fight, no? But then
he got injured. He said he got injured.
Oh, he got
Who
injured.
got injured?
On Twitter. Carmel Moten. He was supposed to be fighting.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
But is Barrios or Barrios?
Barrios. Mario Barrios.
Versus Maidana fight for the WBA title?
WBC.
Was the WBC? Oh wow.
Shout out my boy Fabian Maidana.
All right, yeah.
I know you guys
Maidana.
he used to train at RGBA. How do you guys see that fight?
Yeah,
that motherfucker fight.
That kid's
fight.
still, I don't know how well of a shape he is. I don't even know when his last fight was. Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't heard from him in a while until now that they announced that he's fighting Barrios for the title. I don't even know when his last fight was, but I'll tell you that fight was he got skills. I don't
know if he's been staying busy. I don't know if
I don't know
if he's gonna be in shape or whatever. But if Maidana's had a few fights recently, like where he's stayed, busy, if he's been in the gym training, if he's in good shape, don't be surprised if he's able to pull off the win. Again, I don't know,
I have no idea. I don't know what his last fight was. I don't even know. That's why I was asking, because I don't even know if he won his last fight. So if the WBC sanctioned it, then maybe it's because he's been active. Maybe he's been winning. I don't even know. We got to check a box rec and find out. Because honestly, I have no idea. I haven't heard from him in maybe a couple of years.
Fabian Andres Maidana. He fought Israel Lopez in November, unanimous decision. And then before that, he fought in September with a knockout. TKO, my bad.
Last year.
So two
Against
fights,
Helacho.
and now May, September. That's cool. Hopefully,
So
He
he's
had
active.
3 stoppages. He had 3 stoppages back to back, and then that unanimous decision, and now he's fighting Mario.
Oh, so he's been active. I haven't heard from him. I don't know what he was doing, honestly. Maybe fighting back home in Argentina. I really don't know. But if he's been active, then, and if he's in shape for this fight, he could he's got skills. He's got skills. So
and it's a title fight. It's a title fight for him.
Fight.
It's a title fight for him.
He's 22-2, 16 knockouts.
Fabian's good, man. He hits hard and he's got skills. That guy can fight. So hopefully,
good skills.
You know,
hopefully he puts up a good fight, and maybe he could even put it up. But Barrios is a tough kid too. He's a warrior, so won't be easy either for Fabian.
But the main event, Canelo Munguia, that one's gonna be sick. So we'll make sure we
tune in.
Yeah, make sure everybody's watching. But we hadn't gone live in a while, but I forgot I'm doing the fucking baptism. I was about to say maybe we can go live after the fights like we used to go.
Why not? We should do it. We should do our reactions.
Listen, I have the fucking baptism. What they say.
That's your child, Pita. And it's his birthday too on Friday. All right, well, there you have it, guys. This was all for this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and then we'll see you guys the next time.